Welcome everyone! In this video, we are in the Spring Cup showcasing another very powerful team featuring Pelipper on team number 2. Well, a slightly modified version of team number 2 from my top 5 best teams. Pelipper, quite strong, amazing in this meta, has access to flying type damage, which can be quite beneficial with all the grass types. And also on the slightly modified version of team number 2 from my top 5 best teams for the Spring Cup, Mantine. In the back, Pelipper is a safe swap generally. And Mantine running Aerial Ace in the back, guys. That is the way to go. 100% gives you more play up against Tentacruel. And replacing Ferrothorn from the original version of team number 2, we've got Trevenant. We swapped out Ferrothorn on team number 2 for Trev just because I'm not a massive fan of 50-50 mirror matchups, and Trevenant beats the Ferrothorns. This modified version of team number 2 did not disappoint. Making the switch from Ferrothorn to Trev was the way to go. For reasons like this, guys, I told you, I cannot stand these mirror matchups. They are quite tedious, especially the Ferrothorn mirror. So switching to Trev, swapping Ferrothorn out from the original version of Trev was amazing. We just had a Shadow Ball there. They let that go, and they are at a potential Flash Cannon. We do have to shield that. It doesn't quite KO, but basically KOs. So we are down a shield. They aggressively swap into a Tentacruel, and we are meeting this with our Mantine. Mantine can go toe-to-toe in terms of bulk up against Tentacruel, and having Aerial Ace being able to hit for neutral damage with Stab is quite nice. And we're going to let this go. This is just an acid spray. We don't have to shield this, and we are going to press on here and try and get to another Aerial Ace. It is an awful move, but you got to work with what you've got. That's what it has available, so we are rolling with it. It does have Stab. Awful move, but has Stab. And does really put in work up against Tentacruel. We're not willing to shield anything. They're going to take us out with an acid spray. That's fine. We'll take that. We got a shield from them, guys. Would you ever imagine Mantine getting a shield from Tentacruel? It was amazing. They're going to throw another acid spray here, and we're going to look to farm them down, but they don't stick around for that. They aggressive swap into Ferrothorn, so we throw this Seed Bomb, and we're going to come in with our Pelipper to farm down. It would have gotten a little dicey had we not thrown that Seed Bomb, but made the farm down a lot more manageable for Pelipper. And now they are thinking long and hard. Oh, they've got a Lantern in the back. So good thing we have a fairly healthy Trevenant. We're just going to do what we can with this Pelipper here up against the Lantern. Not a whole lot, but those hurricanes do add up. They do quite a bit of resisted damage on a very, very bulky Pokemon. So much so that they're forced to throw energy. That's the power of Pelipper in the Spring Cup. And now it is looking pretty good here. They aggro swap back into the Tentacruel, just giving us even more farm. They only have one shield. We have 2 Seed Bombs, which means that it is lights out for them, unfortunately. The first one gets the shield. They are going to throw one last Surf here. We are in Surf range, but we have a shield preserving that for the end game. And I just wanted to make sure that the Seed Bomb would KO. So we get one Shadow Claw in, triggering the CMP tie, taking out the Lantern in the process. Trevenant coming in clutch in the end, taking out the Lantern to close strong. Good game, well played to them. I've got to say, for team number 2, the original version, I originally wanted Trevenant, so being able to make it happen here was quite nice. And here we go. That was an awful lead. They had a Tropius on the lead. We swap into Pelipper on the safe swap, and they meet us with a Wall Rain. So this is flippable, and we will make the play for switch if at all possible. I'm going to fire off the first Hurricane, grabbing the shield. They don't generally shield that, but they did there, and that is fine. We're going to let this go. We know that they are at back-to-back here, or just about back-to-back, very close. We will shield the second one if they try to take us out. They do try to take us out. So we will shield this and threaten to grab both of their shields or flip switch with Pelipper. That's the play here. We are at this next Hurricane. The question is, do they want to give us both shields? They do not. They let that go. That is beautiful. That is the power of Trevenant in this meta right here, guys. Flipping switch on a Wall Rain, allowing us to control the alignment, was beautiful for us. So they've got a Shadow Abomasnow. We're going to bring in our Mantine here. Not too many places for Trevenant to go on this team, unfortunately. So Mantine's going to have to do some heavy lifting. We do shield the neutral Shadow Ball, Energy Ball. That would have done quite a bit of neutral damage from a Shadow Abomasnow. And they let that go, likely not anticipating the Aerial Ace. That's beautiful. That's another thing where Aerial Ace is quite nice. It's very close in terms of energy cost to a Bubble Beam, so a lot of trainers will let it go thinking that it might be a Bubble Beam, but all the while, it's generally a super effective or neutral Aerial Ace. They go Leaf Blade there, and they're going to throw just as we are getting to our next Aerial Ace, but the damage has been done. This Tropius will not get to enough charge moves in time. They need 2 charge moves to KO, that's why they're not throwing. And we do just farm them down. That was the play. They still had a shield. Trevenant gets it done in the end. Good game, well played to them. Pelipper on this modified version of team number 2 for my top 5 best teams was putting in the work. And here we go, Mawile. We go into our Pelipper safe swap. Mawile is a nightmare for Trevenant, and they meet us with an equally worse nightmare for our Pelipper coming in the form of a Lantern. So we're going to throw this Hurricane. Guys, that's some meaningful resisted damage. Pelipper is amazing. One of my favorite Pokemon in the Great League format. They go Surf so that they can get some additional farm. So we're not making it to another Hurricane. Just going to chip with this resisted Weather Ball. And I think we're going to go for the farm down here. Yeah, we don't need health on Trevenant. Knowing that they have a Mawile remaining in the back, we're just going to let all of this resisted damage go through. We tank 2 Thunderbolts, no problem, and we will definitely get this farm down in time. Not a problem whatsoever. Leave with minimal health and absolutely loaded energy just in case. Loaded energy on Trevenant can turn the tides, let's just say, of any battle, and they've got a Trevenant of their own in the back, so gonna fire off this Aerial Ace. Like I said, guys, it's very close to the cost of Bubble Beam, and they generally let it go thinking that because the conventional moveset is Ice Beam, Bubble Beam, but you don't want Ice Beam in this meta. Not with all of the bulky water types like Lantern and Tentacruel. Well, not so much Lantern. Mantine can't do anything against Lantern, but Tentacruel mostly. For that Aerial Ace is really comes in clutch. And now it is looking like smooth sailing from here. All they have left is this poor little Mawile. Still has 2 shields. Gonna have to start shielding at some point. The problem is that they know that these Bubble Beams don't hit very hard, and they know that our Trevenant has absolutely loaded energy. We do shield up the big Play Rough. That would have been quite catastrophic for us if we had let that go. And yeah, we are just spamming this thing into oblivion. They're now starting to have to shield, and it was lights out. Not trending in the right direction, let's just say. Good game, well played to them. There were so many Mawiles lurking in the back. A lot of these just ended with Mantine just bullying the Mawiles. Oh, it was amazing. But we had a G-Weezing. We swap in the Pelipper, and they meet us with a Shadow Vic. This is the first one that I've seen in this meta here. Very interesting. I don't think it has very much play, to be honest. But we are going to throw up a shield to control the alignment because we don't want Trevenant on that Weezing, and we do take out the Victory Bell. Having to go down a shield in the process, but it is well worth it to control the alignment here, and we do have loaded energy. Gonna fire off this Weather Ball here. They can tank this. It's not a lot of fun for them, and we will make it to another one as they go for an aggressive farm down. And they should probably shield this here, but they choose to not shield. That was very interesting. So now we will come in with our Mantine and soak all this damage. If you're unaware, Mantine, quite bulky, has a very similar stat product to Skarmory. So very tanky Pokemon. It's just the charge moves are a bit lackluster, but it more than makes up for that with the bulk. And looky what we have here. Yet another Mawile for our Mantine to bully here a little bit. Gonna throw this Bubble Beam here and start the debuff. the debuff nightmare for this Mawile. They're just going power up punch here. So what I think we'll do is throw this Bubble Beam and then go into Trevenant, and that'll bring it back down to -1 on their attack. And that should be enough for us. All we need is a Seed Bomb because these Shadow Claws are absolutely shredding this Mawile. And because we were able to debuff it, these Fire Fangs are not gonna cut it for this poor Mawile here. And their plays, the farm is down. It is just not gonna happen. Mawile is made of the finest china in all the land. We say bye-bye to the Mawile. Resisted Seed Bomb gets it done from Trevenant in the end. Good game, well played to them. Oh, the modified version of Team 2 from my top 5 best teams with Trevenant in the place of Ferrothorn was putting in the work. For reasons like that, you force the swap on the Ferrothorn leads. They swap into a Tentacruel, safe swap here. So we stay in to either do big damage or pressure the shield. In hindsight, guys, I think that was a misplay because Mantine with Aerial Ace, I think, gets it done without having to do that. And they are at a potential Sludge Wave. I've been seeing more and more of that, so we do shield out of caution. We do want our Trevenant on the Ferrothorn. It is quite dominant for Trevenant if you can shield up the Flash Cannon. So we are playing this out here. They do tank our Aerial Ace, and like an idiot, guys, I hit Bubble Beam for some reason, thinking that we can even up the shields because I knew that we were going to have to shield the next Sludge Wave. So I was thinking if we can just even this up, but no, they were not interested in shielding. That was a dumb and idiotic play. I should not have done that. I should have just taken the thing out. So they do aggro swap, locking their Ferrothorn back in. After seeing that they got both of our shields with the threat of the Sludge Waves, we tried catching a Power Whip here, but they exercised beautiful patience. And because we took all that damage staying in on that Tentacruel, the Flash Cannon one-shots, so now we're in a bit of a bind. What we should have done is just been more patient and let the Mantine go down, because we would have gotten to another Aerial Ace, which would have given Trevenant more play as it came back in. But we tried to get fancy, got a little impatient, tried to catch the Power Whip unsuccessfully, and now we are paying for it. This Ferrothorn popping off on our team here. Holy smokes. Oh, this thing was annoying, but hats off to them. They are playing beautifully here, and yeah, it's not looking good. They're going to hit us with a neutral Power Whip. Hits pretty darn hard, does more than half our health, and they've got the Mawile. So if we had played that differently, we would have been a lot more successful here, but even though resisted at this health range, yeah, a pup plus another boosted Fire Fang will be enough to get it done for the Mawile. Zigged when we should have zagged. That's just what it comes down to. Did not play that properly at all, and we paid for it. Good game, well played to our opponent. Oh, an absolute comedy of errors in that last one, but we press on. Here we go, picking up a juicy Lantern lead here. They swap into a Galarian Weezing, and we meet this with Pelipper. Pelipper can match the pace of this Weezing here, and we will do just fine here. No problem. Pelipper dominates Weezing in the 2-shield, and we will play out the 2-shield if necessary, because we absolutely have to win switch and control alignment, knowing that they have a Lantern, and we have a Mantine in the back. So going for Weather Ball number 2, they are just going for the extras here, and that is absolutely fine. It will not help them one bit. We did grab a shield there, and we will now have to start shielding because we are in KO range of a potential brutal swing here, and they are at the back-to-back, so we will shield both of them and look to farm down. We don't need to throw a move here. We will get the farm down in time. These wing attacks with stab are absolutely shredding. We leave with minimal health for the Lantern to farm and loaded energy. Not much more you can ask for. Pelipper coming in clutch on the safe swap here. We throw this Hurricane, and gonna try to... It was wishful thinking that we'd make it to another move. And they've got a Mawile in the back, so... We've seen this story here. We know how this goes. We bubble beam this thing into oblivion, and it will soon be gone here. The question is, are they running Play Rough? If they are, that would be very interesting for them. We have debuffed them, and oh, they are running Play Rough. And that did a lot of damage. That was debuffed. Holy smokes. Mawile hits like a truck, going for another Bubble Beam here. They are not giving up that final shield. And we have now got them into the low red, going for Bubble Beam. I have lost count. I don't know how many Bubble Beams we've gotten off thus far. And it takes out the Mawile. So that's how that matchup plays out in the zeros. Quite dominant for Mantine. And now it is smooth sailing from here. This Lantern is completely helpless up against Trevenant. Even up a shield, it can do nothing to Trevenant. They can go for another Thunderbolt all they want. It will not KO. And gonna fire off the Seed Bomb here. And they are committed with going down with the ship. It is A-OK. Not a problem at all because we had another one locked and loaded. We are saying bye-bye to the Lantern. And Trevenant doing what it does best. That is close the game strong. That's going to be a good game. Well played. Funny enough, I actually tried that very same team that we went up against yesterday, and it did not go well, just as it did not go well for our opponent. And here we go. Tentacruel on the lead here. So this is quite all right. They do have to respect a Shadow Ball. If they don't, it's going to do a metric ton of damage, guys. You got Trevenant commands respect. That's the beauty of Trevenant. We do grab a shield and catch what should be a Scald onto our Mantine. The reason why we were so okay with safe swapping Mantine in this matchup here is because I was making a hard team read. I have a sneaking suspicion that this may possibly be team number 3 from yesterday's video, guys. Team number 3, in case you didn't catch yesterday's video, runs Tentacruel, Abomasnow, and Trevenant in the back. So just in case this thing was running Sludge Wave, which we did not run yesterday in yesterday's video for team number 3, we wanted to bring Mantine in here. And we do take it out with our Aerial Aces. That's why you want Aerial Ace in this meta. And they've got an Abomasnow, so it's looking more and more like Team 3 from yesterday's video, going for this Aerial Ace here. And oh, they let that go. We showed Aerial Ace. I was sure they would shield, but they've likely got a Trevenant in the back. I'm making a hard team read, guys. I'm thinking this is Team 3 from yesterday's video. And we do shield up the big energy ball in the top left. There was 100% a Trevenant in the back. They were rolling with Team 3 from yesterday's video. It did not work out for them. Good game, well played to them. I gotta say, I was very happy with the slight modification to Team 2 from my top 5 best teams. With Trevenant in the place of Ferrothorn, it worked out beautifully. Had a Lantern lead there. They safe swap a Trevenant, and we align Pelipper onto the Trevenant here. Either one works. Pelipper hits a little harder, so as we can see, these wing attacks, before they threw their move, already had them at 50% health. And this is just the Seed Bomb. We shielded out of caution on the first one. Could have been a Shadow Ball, but we know that this is just a Seed Bomb, and we are going to look to undercharge as we did CMP tie them. The reason why is because we wanted to get a little more farm, and we wanted them to get a few more Shadow Claws in, because we did not want to be too healthy for this Lantern. We did not want to give them any more farm than necessary. Going for this Hurricane does a lot of resisted damage, which is always very nice on a Pokemon as bulky as Lantern. And now we align the Trevenant onto the Lantern. About as dominant of a matchup as you'll ever see. And they've got a Mawile in the back. It is lights out. They had the shield advantage, but it did not matter whatsoever. And they do top left, as they did realize that. Good game, well played to them. Guys, I gotta say, I could not believe how many Mawiles were just tucked in the back, lurking. Little did they know, we had Mantine and Pelipper for those Mawiles, but here we go. Slurpuff. Hello. I was so surprised and amused to see one of these. We're gonna fire off the Shadow Ball and see what they want to do here. Oh, they let it go. Okay. That works. We just have to shield up a potential Flamethrower. I don't know why. What would inspire them to run this? I guess the fact that it has Flamethrower and it basically one-shots Ferrothorn. That's my only thought, but very interesting pick on the lead here. They aggressive swap after grabbing our shield into a Trevenant, and we're just going to let this go. We're going to sack Pelipper and put the hope and faith into Mantine. The rationale behind that was that we basically have taken out the Slurpuff and have basically taken out the Trevenant. And judging by previous data with all the Mawiles, I'm thinking there's There was most likely a Mawile in the back. That is what we have been seeing thus far, and right on cue, there it is. Little old Mawile up against our big bully Mantine here. Gonna throw the bubble beam, lower that attack a little bit, add insult to injury, and they make a beautiful catch here. Good for them. It will not help them one bit. Gonna no bubble and look to farm it all the way down. And they are at a move, but they might be running Play Rough, which I don't think you would really want to run in this meta, but it's a moot point. The Slurpuff is gone. We get back to the bubble beam we had before they caught, further lowering the attack yet again. And gonna let this go and save the shield for Trevenant, I believe. Going for yet another bubble beam here on the Mawile. They are committed to going down with the ship. There is nothing this Mawile can do, guys. I'm telling you. This is just another power-up punch, guys. This is not going to cut it, but they want to raise that attack. I don't blame them. They are still debuffed, so we can throw Trevenant in here to put this thing out of its misery. We Shadow Claw all the way down, and it is lights out for that Mawile. And that is the team, my friends. Good game. Well played to our opponent. And yeah, guys, like I said, I wanted to really try Team 2 from my top 5 best teams for the Spring Cup. And the original version of Team number 2 in the video was Ferrothorn on the lead with our 2 Water Flyers in the back. But going into these battles, I was just imagining mirror matchup after mirror matchup, and I was just not here for all of that, so we made a slight modification with adding Trevenant in the place of Ferrothorn, as Trevenant has a very dominant matchup against Ferrothorn on the lead, so we made that modification, and it was smooth sailing from there, as we saw in this video. But guys, I had a blast. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching, and keep up the grind. Thank you, guys.